Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy, the Handmade Homeschooler, and today we're going to be talking about picking your start date when it comes to your new homeschool year and 4 things that I do to really help me narrow down that date, because this is actually what I'm going through right now. I think I finally picked my date. I think we're there, but I'm going to show you what I do to help make it a little bit simpler. If it's your first time here, welcome to my channel. Down below in the description box, I have our link to our free Facebook group, and I have links to some free curriculum samples and all kinds of cool things. Okay, so this is gonna be a really casual video. We're just gonna have a little chit chat here while I drink my coffee this morning. And again, I stole my, my husband's sermon audio mug because sermon audio is the best. If you don't know what sermon audio is, it's an app with all kinds of biblical sermons all over it. I believe they are vetted, so you can pretty much trust anything that comes from sermon audio. Even my little church is on there, and we absolutely love sermon audio. So go check that out if you don't have one yet. That's not sponsored, that's just a recommendation from me. One of the things that I do when I first start looking at the new homeschool year and when I want to start is I just pick an approximate time. This can be a month, this can be a season. Like say you want to start in the summertime. Okay, maybe that's your starting point. For me, that's usually around the beginning of August or late July, which is actually right now, so I am behind. So we are going to be probably starting in August. So for me, I pinpoint down August and then I go from there. So I pick my month. So figure out however you want to do that. Season, month, week, however it is, before you narrow down your actual day, because this start date might change depending on circumstances. I have had start dates change from everything from deaths in the family to me being sick to we just wanted one more week of summer. You know, things change. It's okay. The next thing you want to take a look at is your curriculum length. And the way to do that is usually in the beginning of your teacher's manual or your workbook, wherever your actual schedule is for that curriculum. They're probably going to have some kind of table that shows you how many weeks are involved with that curriculum. So what I do is I take each teacher's manual and I write down kind of just on a piece of paper for myself how many weeks each curriculum is in length. Whether that is 28 weeks or 36, I want to have some kind of running total for each single one, for each subject, for each child. It usually takes me about 5 or 10 minutes, but it makes this process a little bit easier. Once you have that, you're going to be able to have a good look at what your approximate length of school year is going to be. The longest it's probably going to be is 36 weeks, or the longest length that you have in curriculum right now. So that's going to vary depending on your curriculum. If you're just doing unit studies, so let's say you have a handful of unit studies and each unit study is 8 weeks. How many do you have? Do you have 36 weeks of unit studies? Don't write down the individual unit studies, write down how many weeks you have covered for that whole year. So let's say you have 36 weeks covered. That means you have, and if those are science units, let's say you have 36 weeks of science done. So you know how long that of science you have. Do that for each single subject. So go down the line, make a list, write down how many weeks in length you have. So the third thing that I do is I got to get out that calendar. So for me, that's one of the reasons I like my Mardell planner so much, is because I get a really good overview of my year. So I haven't written this down yet because I wanted to be able to show it to you without our information inside. Okay, so in the beginning, they have some pages that are filled out as mock pages to kind of show you how to do this. But they have different versions and tables here. And sorry, my window is really, it's actually sunny for the first time in forever today. So there's a little bit of a glare and everything. But this is like a yearly overview, and you have a table type chart here going from week 1 all the way to week 36. And you have a box for each week. So that's one way that you can do that. And you can do that for each subject. So you would have one page for math, one for science, one for history, and so on and so on. So they have a whole section of planning pages here, and they have a calendar too for all of 2022, and then on the other side is all of 2023. And you can plan out your year that way using that calendar. You also have the blank yearly overview pages that I just showed you with the boxes. And then for each month, you have a larger calendar like this. So this is the month of July, and you have like a full calendar right here. So you can use whatever planning pages or method that you want, whatever one feels the most simple to you or whatever one you like the best design-wise. Usually what I do is I go over to the year overview and I just take a look at the holidays. And I write down all of our birthdays, I write down major holidays, and if I want to take any breaks, so whether that's fall or a spring break, whatever, and I fill those in and I just kind of highlight those dates because I know I'm not going to do school on those dates. So we don't do school on the kids' birthdays. Sometimes we take the whole week off for their birthday because I'm one of those people. Let's say that like we have a birthday that falls on a Wednesday, which we do this year. It's in a couple of weeks. Well, in order to not do double school on the following day, we just take the whole week off because my kids absolutely hate doing or making up work because they missed one day, or doing work on a Saturday, or just trying to make up that work somehow in the middle of the week, which I don't blame them. It's really annoying. So because we have a shorter summer, and I do this on purpose, we take a shorter summer so we can take more breaks and we have more leeway with our schedule. So we have a birthday coming up in August. So for his birthday week, we are going to not do any school. So that will be counted as a summer week. So I'm going to highlight that that week is no school. And I'm going to do that for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, for major holidays, Easter, and my other son's birthday, and then probably me and his dad's birthday too, because me and dad deserve time off for our birthdays. So sometimes we'll do that. Now, this can change depending on what's going on. So let's say we've taken off too many days. Well, those days I highlighted might end up being school days, and that's okay because this schedule is tentative. It's not set in stone. You do not have to follow this by the book, and you do not have to follow the school system where you live either, unless that is a law in your state. Now, this leads me to the last thing that I do. Again, I told you this was going to be a really casual type of video here because I think that's what I specialize in. Okay, so the last thing I want you to do is I want you to go visit HSLDA or go visit your state website for the State Department of Education website and see how many days of school you need to have. That's your goal, okay? I think for us it's 180. So now you have to fill in those 180 days. It's not hard, I promise. So basically you're going to count those 180 days. So here's an idea, okay? This is what I do. How many weeks of school is 180 days? So let's open the calculator here. 180 divided by 5 is 36 weeks. So ideally, I want to have 36 weeks of curriculum. Now, if I don't, so let's say that the curriculum that I just opened up here is only 32 weeks and I need 4 more weeks. That doesn't mean I'm going to run out and buy another curriculum. That just means if it's language arts, maybe we're going to read another book. Who knows? That doesn't mean that I have to fill that in with curriculum, with like actual curriculum. And I know a lot of homeschoolers in the beginning don't realize this. You don't have to actually fill that in with curriculum for those 36 weeks if you need 180 days. So let's say your science falls short and you need a couple more weeks of science. Field trips is one thing that you can do. Nature walks, that counts as science. Videos on the internet, like YouTube videos, and we're talking like actual science videos, those work. You could do science experiments, that counts. You can read a book about science, that also counts. There's so many things that you can do that count. And remember, I know some of us are older than others. I know some of you are at least my age, and you remember You remember those days that they would roll in the TV on the cart? Those were those filler days. Remember sometimes we would watch a movie for like a whole week that had pretty much nothing to do with the subject that we were actually learning about? That's because the curriculum most likely fell short of a couple weeks and they were filling it in. Just a little teacher tip for you. That's just one of those things. So don't feel like even the school system is perfect at this, because they are not. There are many days where there's filler type things. There's all kinds of things you can do for fillers. You can do movies, you can do field trips, you can do walks, you can read books, you can even get things on TPT, Teachers Pay Teachers, and you can get like your own little unit if you want. There's a lot of things that you can do. So don't feel like you absolutely have to fill in every single subject for 36 weeks. That's just your goal. And the school system is not going to come knock on your door and ask you if you did science, history, math, and language arts on all of those 180 days, okay? Because some of those days are going to be field trip days. You're not going to be doing language arts or math on every single day sometimes. They just want to know that your kids are learning. So just keep that in mind. They're not going to come and bust down your door if you're not teaching math every single day. So just some peace of mind for some of you, especially my new homeschool friends. Remember, there are going to be some days where you're not feeling good or your kids are not feeling good and they just want to put their feet up and read a book. That counts as school too. It really does. So don't worry so much about the logistics of it. Just, are they learning? Did they do something that counts as school? You know what I mean? And don't try to put too much pressure on yourself for those types of things. If they did more than half their subjects, they had a school day. So I think I actually have my start date. I haven't set it in stone. I haven't told the kids yet. I know they're going to be asking. They're already kind of gearing up their mind. I've done most of the classroom. I'm going to do my classroom reveal here soon. I've got 2 more things left. I need to do 2 more projects in the room, and then our brand new schoolroom is done. All of our curriculum is here. We're basically just enjoying the last little bits of summer while we can, and while we can kind of get a break, we're doing that. So I don't know. Most of the time I'm super eager to get started. Now that I have, I think, my actual start date in my brain, I'm probably going to start getting excited, but I've just really been enjoying the time off. So yeah, it's been a really exciting summer out here. But yeah, we are just kind of enjoying the last little bits of summer while we can, and you know, school will happen when it happens. But I do need a tentative date, and I think I finally have one. So hopefully that helps you guys figure out your start date, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Seriously, don't. You don't need to do that. We're homeschoolers. That's why we homeschool, because we don't need that pressure. All right, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys in the next video. Happy homeschooling.